morning. Today is the lecture 2. I am going to take the class and the subject matter is transformation of simple, complex and compound sentence. You are watching all these structures and rules on this whiteboard and all these parts will be discussed today, step by step, chronologically and gradually. First of all, if the simple sentence contains in spite of, then complex sentence will also possess though, and the compound sentence will also contain but or yet. Such kind of example and such kind of structure has already been discussed in my previous class. As a result, I will start from rule 2. In the second rule, you will come to know in what way adverb and preposition is connected with each other in the simple sentence. In the simple sentence, the structure is subject, verb, helping verb, then adverb, to. After that you will find adjective. After that to, and at last verb in the present form. If you want to transfer it into complex sentence, you will have to write complex sentence. You will have to write first subject without making any change. Then verb will have to be written. To will be transferred into so. After that you will have to write adjective. To will be changed into that. Then you will have to write subjective case. This subject will be the reflexive of first subject. If the subject, that means the first subject, is written in noun, you will have to transfer or change it into pronoun. Then cannot or could not will have to be written. And at last verb will be written in the present form as it was before in the structure of simple sentence. Now I am going to analyze or illustrate the structure of compound sentence. Subject, in the next step verb. To will be transferred into very. Adjective. To will be changed into an. Then subject. After that you will have to write cannot or could not. And at last verb in the present form. Now I will explain in what way the simple sentence can be transferred into complex and compound sentence by giving you more and more examples. Simple sentence having or including to and to will certainly and obviously be transferred into complex sentence by writing so that. Look at the whiteboard and watch very attentively. Simple sentence. Simple. Reja is to week to work. Complex form will be Reja is so weak. Reja is so weak that he cannot work. Cannot work. In the third step, you will learn in what way this simple sentence can be transferred into compound sentence. By following the structure I have already written on the whiteboard and I have already effaced that structure. Reja is very weak and he cannot walk. This is the explanation of the previous rule. Now I will go to the next example and next rule. In the third rule, you will come to know the same thing. Simple sentence, simple sentence, possessing or containing because of or for, because of or for. Then complex sentence will also contain the characteristic of dependent clause, since, as, or only, because. And compound sentence will contain and. This is the structure. Now I will follow the example from this structure. The simple sentence can be written in this way. Simple. He could not go to college. Go to college for his illness. For his illness. This is the example of simple sentence. Now it will be transferred into complex sentence by following the same structure. He could not go to college for his ill. He could not go to college. He could not go to college as he was ill. He was. Then in the compound form, you will have to write he was ill. He was ill and he could not go to college. He could not go to college. Go to college. Look at these examples. You will find very easily in what way I have transferred all these sentences by following the structures. In the next structure and next example, you will have to learn another thing. Simple sentence containing or possessing by and present participle. If the simple sentence is started with by, then present participle. Present participle. That means main verb plus ing. Main verb plus ing. After that, objective case will have to be found by you. Then a complete sentence. That means a complete sentence. A complete sentence. Now the complex sentence will have to be started by writing if. This is the conditional phrase. After that you will have to write subject. In the third part, verb effacing ing. In the fourth part, objective case and a complete sentence. in the compound form, in the compound form or compound sentence, first of all you will have to write the main verb without ing, After that you will have to write and, because and is the salient feature or remarkable characteristic of compound sentence. Then a complete sentence. This is our structure. In what way we will be able to transfer the simple sentence into complex and compound form. Now I am going to illustrate the example from this structure. By reading attentively, they can prosper in life. This is the example of simple sentence. Now I am going to transfer it into complex sentence. First of all, the sentence will be started by writing if. This is called conditional phrase. After that, in the second part, I will have to write subjective case. Reading will be transferred into read without writing or adding ing. That means ing will have to be effaced from the main verb. In the fourth part, you will have to write objective case. And the complete sentence will remain unchanged. In the compound form, first of all, you will have to write the main verb. Read attentively and they can prosper in life. They can prosper in life. This type of transformation is the part of simple, complex and compound sentences. Now in the next part, we will differentiate all types of sentences looking or identifying the subjective or objective case. Subject or object. Indicating person. Then complex sentence will definitely or obviously, that means certainly, possess who as the relative pronoun. According to the parts of speech, who is called relative pronoun, and according to the rule of clause, it is called the salient feature or main characteristic of dependent clause. In the compound sentence, you will have to use and in the middle part of the sentence. Then independent and dependent clause will be present in your answer. This is the structure, and now I will efface all these words to deliver the example from these structures. Mr. Raihan is an experienced teacher. Look at this sentence. This is the example of simple sentence. Mr. Raihan is subjective case. Is called auxiliary verb or helping verb, but it is playing the role of main verb or principal verb due to the presence of main verb. And at last, this is called objective case. This objective case is divided into two parts. One is adjective, and in the next part, teacher is noun. These two parts of speech will have to be divided in the complex sentence. Mr. Raihan is a teacher. Is a teacher who is experienced. Who is experienced. Now, this type of sentence will be transferred into compound sentence by adding or including and. Mr. Raihan is a teacher and he is experienced. He is experienced. So, what is the similarity between these two types of sentences? The similarity is that in the simple sentence you have already found two parts of speech side by side. One is adjective and other is noun. But these two parts of speeches are divided into two parts. In the independent clause, it has contained the noun, and in the next clause, it has found adjective. But you may ask me the question, in what way the simple sentence can be transferred into complex and compound if the simple sentence lacking or the adjective is absent in the simple sentence. Now I will illustrate this type of sentences. If the sentence or the simple sentence is written in this way, Mr. Raihan is a teacher. What is the discrimination between these two examples? In the previous example, you have already watched the presence of adjective. But here I have written this simple sentence without including or adding any type of adjective. And if you find such kind of example in the examination hall, you will have to write, it is Mr. Raihan who is a teacher. Now I will illustrate or explain in what way simple sentence can be transferred into complex and compound sentence if the subject is written including the thing or element or component. Computer is a necessary component. Try to watch this example and find the similarity between these two examples. Necessary is used here as adjective and component is noun. So, like the previous example, we will have to transfer the noun into independent clause and the adjective, that means necessary, into dependent clause. Computer is a component which is necessary. Which is necessary. Here lies the discrimination, here lies the difference between these two examples. In the previous example, the subjective case was a person, Mr. Raihan. As a result, we will have to use the relative pronoun as who. But computer is not a person. This is an element or component. For this reason, I have used here which as the relative pronoun. In the compound sentence, I will have to write computer is a component and it is necessary. It is necessary. Here it is used as subject as the alternative of computer. But in the previous example, I have used he. Such kind of he, she or they. Such kind of personal pronoun will have to be used if the subject is written including or implying someone who is person. Dear students, today I am announcing the ending of lecture 2 and the discussion was simple complex and compound sentence transformation. In the next lecture, I will discuss the rest part of rules and example from this topic simple complex and compound sentences. Okay, no more today. Goodbye.